Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger comic book review. Guys, these are late. I apologize, but I am on vacation this week, so everything's catching up. Lots of stuff going on. Keep an ear out all over. You never know when there'll be an announcement video or just a relaxing talk video. You never know. All depends on the free time we all have.
Yep.
Anyway, we got 7 physical copies this week, 13 digital. These were released on the week of August 13th, 2014. And we got lots of books to cover, so let's waste no time and get into the physical copies as always first.
Yep. Starting with Vertigo Comics, Coffin Hill, issue number 10, continue on with the Dark Endeavors. It's kind of getting a little bit uninteresting in this issue. Like, it's just all about the investigation that Coffin Hill is doing to find out, about the that frost thing that happened in last issue. The icebreakers, actually. It's very gory, so I'm going to try to show you some artwork that's not really as bad. It keeps going back and forth also where the other Coffin's in prison, and like there's lots of demons that she has to fight from in the past. Oh yeah, here's good artwork right here. It's mainly just all talking about the investigation, like I said before, and just finding out the answers of who the icebreakers are and why they killed them. Meanwhile, the attorney goes to the other Coffin Hill in jail saying about the death of Donovan, because they think that she did it, which is the reason why she's in jail. And the rest of the issue is just kind of not interesting. So if it doesn't hold me in the next issue, I might drop it for this issue. But up to you guys. If you've been reading this all along, you'll be picking this up, and if not, then you won't. Next one, going into something awesome from Image Comics, The Walking Dead, issue number 130. Last time we saw that Rick's new members saw Negan in jail, where Negan was saying that Rick did this to me and everything else, and surprisingly they didn't fall for his lie, because she obviously knew he was lying, so I was actually saying good for that. Then we get new characters named Ken and Marco, who are going away from these walkers. Black and white artwork, which is amazing. And then meanwhile, Carl's getting ready to go to the goldsmith. What?
The Hilltop.
The Hilltop, yeah, the goldsmith and the windmill. With Rick with him. Maggie Green makes a little bit of a return, which I thought was really awesome in this comic issue. And people have heard about Rick, like saying how amazing he is, because of what he did with the all-out war with Negan. And then shows Carl how he feels about working with Locksmith. And Marco, waking up, said that Ken was left and he could actually hear whispers from the walkers that they were speaking. So that's kind of very interesting on Marco's character, that he could hear the walkers. And this one's a really great issue. I can't wait to see more of Marco's character development in the story, as well as other things that will happen as we go further on the issue. Archie Comics, Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 263, Waves of Change, Part 4. The last part to the Sonic the Hedgehog story arc, where he did not turn into a werehog, which was a big tease. However, though, with Razor Crusher and Amy Rose, they fight off against these demons. Meanwhile, Coral has the baby that finally came out, the baby child that she was waiting for. And artwork's amazing, actually. And as they're fighting off against them, they use like this magical power, mostly, to take them out. King and the Queen forgave her about the whole Coral about the whole thing that happened, like a misunderstanding. They all leave, and we get Mighty and Ray that debuted in this comic book, and they'll be in the next issue. And, you know, Consequences is up to you guys if you want to read that second story. All it is about the Chaos Emerald and how Dr. Eggman's always Dr. Eggman, and the whole thing about the Chaos Emeralds, knowing that the Freedom Fighters have the Chaos Emeralds, which he's looking for. So no Werehog in this issue, but there is another story that has Sonic Werehog in the cover called Control, a 2-part series that I am definitely going to get and definitely looking forward to reading.
Normally I read this digitally, but because it's the last issue and the final issue of the series, I had to get it physically. It's only $2.99, so I got Star Wars issue number 20. This is the final issue from Dark Horse, and even in the letters column where people were like, I'm looking forward to future issues, they were saying, unfortunately, you probably didn't hear the news, there is no future. Dark Horse lost their contract for Star Wars. Star Wars is going over to Marvel, which they made some really nice announcements. One book out of the 3 I'm not too keen on or looking forward to, but we'll see where it goes. But in this issue, basically, Leia, Luke, and Han show up. They sent out a call to her friend who left the planet where she was hiding out, waiting for rescue. She's tailed by a bounty hunter, which we saw in the last issue also. The bounty hunter attacks her just as the Millennium Falcon, Leia, Luke, and Han show up. And it just becomes a gigantic fight in space, so to speak. Oh, wow. Really nice artwork, really nice story. Nice. But in the end, the bounty hunter, well, his ship at least, gets destroyed. Leia rescues her friend, and then the rest of the book is a lot of talking and just the Millennium Falcon flying off into the wild black yonder, so to speak. And there's lots of dialogue, lots of cool stuff. But again, if they were going to continue Star Wars and Dark Horse, I would say that this was a 2-part segue, or kind of like just one of those stories that's in between 2 major stories. Unfortunately, this segue story was the final story. However, from what I'm hearing in Marvel, they're going to be picking the story up right where this is leaving off, like at the same point. So obviously Marvel's been doing their homework, so hopefully their writers will be able to do their homework and continue what Brian Wood was giving us in Star Wars, and maybe better, who knows. But Dark Horse has had Star Wars for about 20 years. That's 8 years. I was about 8 years old, that means, when that happened. So you can do the math and figure out how old I was. But anyway, Dark Horse has had Star Wars about as long as I've been alive. Minus almost a decade. So it's going to be weird because I know that a lot of people are saying mixed reactions for the Marvel Star Wars. Some of them saying it's really good. Some of them saying it was eh. Hopefully Marvel can deliver with Star Wars. So guys, as of next month, look forward to Star Wars. Or no, I'm sorry, not next month. Starting November, look forward to Star Wars in the Marvel reviews, because it is coming out from Marvel. It may not be the Marvel Universe, but it is under the Marvel logo. So just like any of the other books, like the I forgot the other book, but just like the other series that are attached to Marvel but aren't part of the Marvel Universe, I'm going to be reviewing it through the Marvel reviews. So you'll be seeing Star Wars. And there's still the miniseries. There's still that other miniseries with Darth Maul that has to finish, which is going to be finishing up, I believe, in the next episode, next week, or this week that just passed. Yes. So there's still a little bit more Star Wars before we say goodbye completely.
And now we go into Xenoscope, which is Inferno Rings of Hell 1 of 3. And I remember reading the Inferno one-shot, where the Lady Queen had the Cyclops Eye and took control of the Dark One. And, you know, it's been a while since I actually read that. And the artwork is really amazing in this book. So basically, Lucifer and, oh God, what was her name? Mercy are fighting off against, demons and stuff like that, including when they saw the whole destruction of what's been going on. The fight in the couple of pages was really just, by far, it was chaotic, but like really amazing. and they know about the whole realm that happened with what happened in Grim Fairy Tales when the Dark Queen and the Dark One, which are these two right here, who took over all of the realms. Now, they made an editor's note of Inferno Age of Darkness one-shot where they showed them the Cyclops Eye. And the Dark Queen actually says that how they actually played it out when she got how she got the Cyclops Eye, which was also in one-shot. And now how it was all planned, taking one of the swords people in, and then all that happened. And you could read the comic book just to find out how that. But now they're gonna go into the 9 Rings of Hell, and which is underground. I'm gonna see if they're gonna be able to survive this, because from what I heard, no one has ever come out alive. And they're going through the first ring. So that was really interesting. And just wow. This one was really excellent, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them going through the 9 Rings of Hell, thus why the title is Rings of Hell. So
Fresh new beginning for this book.
Yes, that would be Wonderland issue number 26, also from Zenescope.
Takes place again after Clash of Queens and issue 25, where basically issue 25 I feel like was a definitive end to Clash of Queens.
Yeah, and why do I...
Violet
Callie.
or Callie?
Oh, Callie. Callie was, telling her daughter Violet about how she's changed and everything, of becoming the White Queen and stuff like that. And
beautiful artwork.
But yeah, the artwork's beautiful. Like I'll show this one right here, and it just goes on her side of the story where like she's just doing her job, as the White Queen, and there's also lots of other stuff that happens, including these two guys who found a woman in a house, and when they called the cops to find her, her body disappeared and stuff like that, and there's just weird things that happen in that house in a very creepy way. So they see the White Queen there, and she doesn't really trust the mayor at first, but then there's just lots of stuff that like she's very nice. Like she's trying to show how she's nice rather than the Dark Queen who isn't. So and also she is going into a forest to find this little girl who went in the forest because her mother was been looking for her. And from what I heard, from what they heard in the forest, there's a savage, and let's just say that it's not this one. So the White Queen and the rest got into a little bit of trouble for the savages that lurks in the forest, from what the people of them told them about what the forest is, or the rabbi, I think, told her. But this one was really good, and a good beginning to have a jump on point, so this would definitely be something for you to jump onto.
Oh, book of the month for me. And this was really good. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 37.
From IDW.
The meeting, the first actual sit-down meeting of Krang and the Shredder. We also have Aloplex, who's being haunted by Kitsune, who actually reaches out to her and tells her, all you want to do is come home. So basically Kitsune is using her witchery to control Aloplex to come back. But she has Aloplex not know. Like when their conversation's over, she forces Aloplex to forget that she was having this conversation with Kitsune. But she's trying to find a way to bring Aloplex back. Why, we don't know yet. So we have the meeting between Shredder and Krang, which basically it's a pretty good mix of stuff that's gone on in the entire series. From Slash to Shredder stealing the ooze, to the mutations, Hun, and then Krang's giving about his people, how Kitsune almost killed them, Honeycutt, and Baxter Stockman. And you'd think that this is going to become like the team up like in the cartoon, right? Nope, not at all. Krang actually tries to kill Shredder. Of course he doesn't succeed because Shredder is a little bit smarter than Krang, which I like because in the cartoon series it always seemed that Krang was a little bit ahead of Shredder. But then again, the cartoon was a little bit more wacky and kid-friendly. But there is a fight. This has no turtles in it, basically, guys. This is all about Shredder and Krang. Huge fight breaks out. But basically, it becomes it's a stalemate because Krang is teleported away because his ship is destroyed, and Shredder flies off with his mutants, and that's where it is. So the war isn't going to be with Shredder and Krang against the Turtles. Shredder and Krang actually are on opposite sides because Krang wants to destroy the planet, wants to destroy Earth so his people can inhabit it. And Shredder wants to rule Earth, but keep the people alive, obviously. This book was excellent. The Alloplex part, I have a feeling, is going to play something big in the future, possibly, with Kitsune and everything. I can't stand Kitsune. I hope that at some point there's the end for this, for her at least. Really interested in seeing what's going to happen next. This is a spectacular series. I've been loving it since issue 1. We are 37 issues in now, guys, and I really could not recommend this series enough. This was really good, and it's building up to something. What? We don't know yet. This time around, though, the miniseries, like Turtles in Time, that's up to you guys, but I have not been enjoying it due to the art and the weirdness of the story. But anyway, into the books, the digital books. We're going to start with a book that was suggested to us by Jay. Midnight Tiger, issue number 1.
And I read this book, and I have to say I really was satisfied and enjoyed it. Like, in this comic book, it introduced a new villain called Infernus, I think his name is. It says, like, keep going. Like,
Infernus, yes.
Yeah, Infernus. And then there was a whole bunch that talked about. They gave a little bit of an origin of how Black Tiger got his powers. Like, we don't see it. Like, he just talks about it.
He talks about it. He reminisces about it.
Yeah, he reminisces about it.
This isn't an origin story. This is actually just continuing forward. He actually, his first thing that he does is, well, I read it too.
Okay.
He ends up saving this family, which I think is a really cool nod to Batman. It's a husband and wife, Martha and Jonathan, and their son, Bruce. And Black Tiger saves them right before they're shot. So it's kind of a little bit of a nod to Batman. You can continue now.
Oh, yeah. So, I like how he says, like, when he goes home, he has to finish all these homework assignments. And his father's, like, really nice because he thinks he's having bad dreams about his mom, which I guess she passed away a few years ago, or years ago, I guess.
And he has a healing factor, apparently.
Yeah, he has a healing factor.
A.K.A. Gavin.
And, you know, he has a school life. You know how they say, oh, he forgot to study for tests because of all crime fighting. And there's this guy that he talks to that was once his friend, but he actually joined a gang, and then after that, everything was different. I forgot what his name was. That he had a argument with, where they got sent to the principal's office, and I think Marco.
I think so.
Yeah, well, whatever his name was, he talks about how he joined the gang and why, and you can find out when you read the comic book. And then at the house, you know, his father said, you know, I raised you better to use, you know, words
instead of violence.
And then he's like trying to say, you know, violence is always everywhere. And there's a new villain that actually, Stoner, that's his name, who heard about this Black Tiger and wants to meet him firsthand to fight him. And
he's looking for a challenge, basically.
Well, a challenge is like a fight, yeah.
Yes.
But that was really interesting. So first issue, I'd say I give it a 5 out of 5. Like, that was really just an interesting book, and I want to thank Jay for recommending this book, because
absolutely,
I really enjoyed it, and it's just, you know, really fantastic. So,
alright, so let's start with Dynamite. Let's start with Lady Zorro, issue number 2.
Right,
how was it?
Here's the cover. Let me just show that first. Lady Zorro was an okay issue. In this issue, she goes off and, you know, well, we see her in her costume finally, because we didn't see her until the last page. And it's just the whole thing what happened last issue where the woman died because she wanted to bring that thing back from what she was looking for to the island. And then she comes across you know, these people who are like really madmen. By the way, the artwork's good. Just want to point that out. And he uses like a whip, and it's like really, really strict way of you know, using it against his men and everything. You know, and as the issue continues, they talk about how people are hanged because of the execution of you know, what happened. Lazor comes in to stop all of that because, you know, that's what heroes do. And, you know, the rest I leave up to you to read because it was like really interesting, including that guy that I can't remember what his name is like right now, but she fights off against him. And it's like really, it's a really interesting fight that they had. And she leaves a Z on the chest, which I thought was classic.
That was really
that
good.
was really classic right there. And yeah, that's basically the whole thing. So I guess like she got out of there safe to bring stuff, but she actually leads into a little bit of a downhill thing where she meets up with these new people, and that's where the issue ends, to be continued. So we'll find out who they are and everything else that there is to it.
Let's see. Are there any other books from Dynamite before we...
Look here.
So.
I don't think.
So let's go into Image, because we have, I think, one book from Image, and that is
Yeah,
Rise of the Magi.
Oh, this one right here. And
Issue number
Rise
3.
of,
It's issue number 3 of
Yeah,
Rise of the Magi.
and I don't know if we missed issue number 2 because I
We
remember.
might have.
Yeah, because well, it was giving us a for what's that thing called? Like
Last time?
Yeah, like the last time thing from issues 1, because I don't remember them going with these other people in issue 2, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But is these 2 people that use the frog for? They talk more about the frog, how it's an importance in this story of using it to fight off against people, so that way they can survive. And all work was okay. The story, I don't know. I kind of found this to be a little bit of an average read to an okay read, but
Not drop worthy yet?
not drop worthy yet. But if it starts to go a little bit downhill with the frog with this and that and not understanding it, then I'm going to have to. But
Gotcha.
up to them. Up to you guys actually. If you want to pick up this issue,
I don't know which one goes
to
first.
find out yourselves.
Should we start with this one and then go into the other, or I don't know? You read them.
Well, this is from Valiant actually, of Armor Hunters issue number 3, right here.
That's a mini series going on.
Right. And in this issue, I think this is the issue where is this what Bloodshot's in it? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. This is where I just want to make sure. This is where Bloodshot fights off against the monster that was in the last issue. You know, we get Arak that actually Arak. I keep saying it wrong. He wants to give up the suit because, you know, he feels that, you know, everything that I've been trying to do, he thinks it's his fault, which is why he gives up the suit, and they give it to that woman who had it before, and we get her as an appearance again. And she uses that to fight off against this big robot who is like really, really powerful. And she remembers how she used it because in issues back, like you remember how when she used it and how everything works and stuff like that. So, and the artwork's like really amazing, by the way.
Definitely.
And there are lots of explosions. Not a lot with Bloodshot in it. Like here and there, he was in it.
It's a big robot fight.
Yeah, but it's a big robot fight that's causing a huge catastrophe because they want the suit. And they said that if you don't give us the suit, we're going to destroy the city. And sure enough, Arak says that he thinks that they should give in the suit just to save the civilians. Which then goes into this other Valiant comic book, which I will show the cover if I find it.
Unity, number 10.
Number 10. And in Unity number 10, it almost connects to Armor Hunters, but like showing the big robot and destroying the city, but it looks like it went two issues over, like there might be another story that leads in between it because there are lots of other stuff that happens to it, and it's all about just like in Armor Warriors, just them trying to tell them about the suit and just trying to save the civilians from the robots attacking, and the artwork here is also amazing as well.
I love the artwork from Valiant.
Yeah.
Hey, Ninjak's in it as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say Ninjak appears in this issue, and he does his own Ninjak stuff, and I find him to be an interesting character. But in the ending of the issue, we find out that there's more than one robot that is going to be doing all this chaotic stuff, and that don't look so good. The situation itself, the comic was excellent, don't get me wrong, but situation, yeah.
Alright, do we still have time?
Yeah,
we
just
have
to
enough
do this
for one
quickly.
more. Alright, so let's go into Lobster Johnson then.
Oh,
or Dark Horse. Dark Horse, Lobster Johnson, number
5 of 5. I believe.
Get the Lobster, part 5 of 5.
And this is the last issue comic of Lobster Johnson, where they're trying to go after Lobster Johnson because he's wanted. For those of you who have been reading this, you'll find out why in the other issues. And he just talks about, how he's being this wanted man, and there's this other one that is trying to go after the lobster because he has like this big thing against him. And they have this huge fight on the airplane, which was really...
it's an airship, I believe.
An airship? Or blimp or something?
Airship.
Yeah, and it wound up with them going down, crashing, into the water, thinking that Lobster Johnson is dead. Apparently there was a surprise of a hand in there of some type, and if you want to find out what it is, read the book. But in the end, we find out that, spoiler, Lobster Johnson survived, and it just is the end. So, are we going to get another Lobster Johnson?
Are we going to get another miniseries? I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
Yep, but rating for all of it is like between... I'm going to give it between a 3.5 to 4 out of 5 for the whole series. It was pretty good for that one.
Alright guys, and give us just 2 seconds and then we will continue along with Dark Horse and conclude as always with IDW. And we're back, and we're going to continue along with Ghost issue number 7. How was Ghost, Mike?
Alright, let me just show the cover, and you're not going to believe this when I tell you this, but well, I'm going to get to it, but let me just tell you what happens in the story. Like, we get this new villain who wanted to go after from the last issue, and he takes care of him really good. Artwork's fantastic, actually.
Yeah, I like the artwork.
And she's actually talking about, with all these clowns and everything of what happened. To me, it looks like that she doesn't want to be Ghost anymore. And just like in all the other comics that I've been reading, they always do that, and then in an issue or so later, they're going to come back, which happens in the further issues. And I'm really getting annoyed by it because we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like stop quitting just to come back.
Yeah, just stop quitting to come back. Either you're going to quit to stop completely, or you're just going to continue. But looking over that, she's just going through these whole investigation of, looking for stuff. And if you want to find out what it is, you could definitely read the comic book. There's just a lot of dialogue, and
yeah, it looks like there's a lot of talking in this issue.
Yeah, I mean there is some action in it, but it's really good stuff. I would say to check it out if you've been reading it all along and see that. But just seriously, either you're gonna quit or you're gonna continue. That's all I have to say for that.
Terminator Salvation, the final battle, issue number 8. We finally get to see Simon go back in time. Like, we get to that point now. Oh, you read this too, right?
I did, yeah.
We finally get to that point where, I forgot the guy's name who,
Connor?
No. Oh, Parnell. Thomas Parnell.
Oh, yeah.
Figured out that Skynet is trying to lock him out or turn against him. And he basically hacks into the system, or he doesn't have to hack in because he has access. But
yeah, because he's a robot and he knows how to do all these things.
Right, but within a couple hours, basically, he tells Skynet, "I'll be you and you'll be me." So it jumps back and forth from the present to the from the present, as in the the Terminator present, into the past where Simon is there and he's still stalking Thomas Parnell to kill him. It jumps forward and backward, but basically, spoiler alert here, Simon fails. And the way they find out in the future is, after Simon walked through the portal, nothing changed. As John Connor said, if Thomas Parnell was, if they stopped him, if Simon was successful in his mission, it would have erased everything that's gone on. It would have fixed everything. Things would have changed instantaneously. And because they didn't change instantaneously, that means Simon failed. Where, they don't know, but they know he failed. And now, because Skynet law is losing its edge against Thomas Parnell, Parnell attacks where the time portal is and regains control of it. And we find out that, here's another little bit of a spoiler, the 3 Terminators that were sent back in time with Simon were actually sent by Thomas Parnell, and he's the one that said, do whatever it takes, no matter what, to make sure what's supposed to happen, happens. So they go back, we get the present where Simon's dead, Parnell dies, like he was supposed to, and becomes a Terminator in present-day Terminator world, and now he's going after...
No, I was just saying, he looks like Loki, kind of.
And now he's going after John Connor and the rest of the human race, and Skynet knows. Parnell's no good, but basically within a couple hours it's not going to matter because Skynet's basically all going to
Weren't
be
they
erased.
supposed to be working with Skynet because there's this other computer that's going to take over?
I don't know, but...
I think that was in this issue because Skynet was going to be working with them because the other one was going to end all salvation completely.
I know, but anyway, there's only 4 issues left, so it's going to be very interesting to see how Thomas Parnell is stopped, or if Skynet and Thomas Parnell will be destroyed at the same time. I don't know, but I'm loving this series. This is one of my favorite Terminator ones to date. Now we're going into X, Volume 2, issue number 16.
Yes, this comic issue where it's X versus Mr. Winters. I believe his name is Mr. Winters. And the fight, I'm telling you right now, was really gruesome. The whole thing. And like, X got his mask back, in case those of you who read the comic or not, from issues back. And he was fighting off against the other guy, which I don't know if his name is Mr. Winters, because the other guy that's like big and muscular, when he fights him, there's that. And the woman that worked with him, that was the secretary, is actually involved as well. So X gets the snot beat out of him, and he tries to use other strategies that he always does. And it's just like him saying, oh, you're not the X, you're just a phony because, you know, you're not bringing the real challenge and stuff like that, just trying to get to him. Because he was looking for more of a challenge, which he thought of him as not. So he's trying to use every which strategy, and he just keeps catching each and every one of his moves and everything. And artwork is excellent though. And with that, the woman comes in. Why does her name escape me all of a sudden? I don't know why. But she is actually, after all that mind thing that she went through, she's actually going to help him. And like saying, finally, you snapped out of it, now help him so that way he could, oh, I don't know, live another day. Because the way he looked in the last page was just, ugh.
Bone coming out of one arm, fingers completely crushed. Yeah, he was
beaten to
I feel like since you've been reviewing this series, this guy's, all it is about him getting beaten up. And that's kind of...
Yeah, but wait,
ouch.
but wait. In issues to come, he's going to get very, very pissed off, and then he's going to really lash out. And I'm looking forward to seeing that when that comes out.
Godzilla Cataclysm, issue number 1. I'm not a fan of the artwork too much. Basically, this takes place years after the last monster fight. It's been years since the monster's been seen, and basically civilization is screwed. Because all the cities are basically jungled over, buildings, everything. They're basically brought back to olden times where there's no electricity. Everybody's in like, I want feudal Japan kind of looking times.
Okay.
And finally, basically all this stuff's happening. You got these mutant bugs, and then the monsters return. And who are the monsters? We got a new monster, and then the return of the god of all monsters, Godzilla. And it ends there. That's basically the entire book. I know it sounds short, but when you read it, there's a lot of dialogue to keep you moving through the book. But the long and short of it is, that's it. The first issue is basically humanity years after monsters have all but disappeared. There's a lot of dialogue on how it happened, why it happened, what's going on now. And then the ending where the monsters show back up is really where things kick up, but that's where the issue ends. Now, Transformers Primacy issue number 1. I want to throw this out there. It connects a lot to Monstrosity, and I forgot the other Transformer book. There were 2 books. There was Monstrosity and Autocracy. Those were both books that I didn't start reading. So it uses the same art, and this is right as the Autobots and Decepticons are coming to be now. And you got Hot Rod who joins up with the Autobots. The Dinobots show up, and they actually the Autobots cure them of their energon problems. But Grimlock doesn't seem like himself, so I'm not sure if things will change after a while. We get introduced to I forgot what the Titan's name is. Trying to remember his name.
Like the big one, or?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Well, the Titan, actually, if you want to say that.
Oh, here we go. Omega Supreme.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the book, there's a lot of references to the other 2 series, which I did not fully finish reading yet, especially Monstrosity and Autocracy, especially if I didn't even start Autocracy. I read a little bit of Monstrosity. But all in all, the artwork's really good and the story's really catching. Again, though, if you haven't read the other 2 stories, I would recommend it because it looks like they're going from the beginning all the way through to where the war kind of started. I don't even really know, to be honest with you guys, but if you read Autocracy, if you read Monstrosity, I would definitely recommend Primacy. I don't think I'm going to be reviewing the rest of Primacy until I catch up on the other 2 stories. I will give it an honorable mention when it comes out so you guys know it came out. Really good book, but like I said, I would definitely check into the other stories before jumping into this. Is it jump on friendly enough? Yes. However, in my mind, I really want to read the other 2 books first, the other 2 stories first, because I feel like that's going to help connect more of the dots, so to speak. So how about Blackout issue number 4, Mike? How was it?
This was really good, this issue. It shows him going through the portal, and there was a guy who followed him, and he didn't want him to die because the heroes want them to live. So there's this woman that actually goes with him because he's looking for a certain file for something, and you keep going fast. I'm trying to remember. And he takes her with him through the portal, and she remembers how it was like cold and everything. So, because in the portal's like really freezing, so she gets in the jacket to show him where the file is in the portal zone, and she knows where the cameras are, so they won't get caught. And as that's going on, they get the file, or he actually gets the file that he's looking for, to to find out more information of what he was looking for to start off with from the beginning. And as the issue continues, with amazing artwork, by the way, he gets captured. He got caught by these big, gigantic robots, and then he has a fight with one of them. And let's just say that as the issue continues, there's just more to it that was really interesting, and you have to find out. And King Tiger, I'm not going to even talk about because I didn't even.
That looks like it's more of a preview.
No. King Tiger just doesn't interest me. Even when I first saw it, it really didn't interest me. So that's.
Now this book, I love the first issue, and I'm sure that this issue, I actually know you read this, but I read through it anyway.
Yeah.
And this issue was really good also.
Yeah, Doberman issue number 2, right here.
Yeah, Doberman has been in hiding for a long time after his partner was killed.
Fuck.
Yeah, until he finds out that the man that killed him was set free from jail.
And that was Jaster Kane, I believe.
Yeah.
He was on the cover, I think. Let me see.
So basically, Doberman
Yeah.
goes back to the precinct because he wants to bring that guy to justice. He doesn't believe he deserves a second chance. He does get back into the precinct. However, he doesn't get back as
Frank.
from his unit. He gets brought back under what was it called?
Commission?
Regular patrol. He's not vice anymore. He's just regular police. So basically, he's forced to wear a uniform, and he has a new partner. And that lasts for all of about a couple of pages, and then you see him right back in his regular clothes, right back on the scene as himself. You can continue from there.
Yeah, and he doesn't want another partner because he likes to work alone, from all that. And, he's just like a really, like one of those really cool characters, but in some ways he is, and in other ways he isn't really as much. And his partner is like really, just, I don't know if he knows if he's doing his job or something, because I think it's first day he's on the job. So he goes in to talk to this guy who was really fat and everything. I forgot what it was about. Well, he goes in because I think he thought that he committed a crime of some type.
Somebody who beats women.
Well, someone who beats women, thank you. And he didn't like that, so he beats him up when the guy threatened to fight him first. And he just takes him in and just says all of what happened. And in the meantime, he gets called into the commissioner's office. And let's just say he likes to have things his way. But it's really something else. I mean, his character, ever since his partner died, went over to the other side for something. And you can read the rest just to find out. But next to Black Tiger, this was my other favorite book of the week.
Definitely one of my favorite digital book, for sure.
That's next to the rest that I've read besides Coffin Hill. And yeah.
Alright, and that's it for this week's Indie Comic Review, guys. As always, comment below, likes, dislikes, recommendations, your opinion on any of the books we reviewed here or have not reviewed, and your comments will be heard on this Friday's weekly comic book haul. Don't forget to also check out comic-related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. Together we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. And until next time, everybody, hopefully the Big 2 review will be right after this, the following day.
Yep.
So take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys in the next review.
Later, everybody.